guys, I have a great video today. I am going to talk about why your diet is failing you. I know. So just stay tuned. Okay, so we started on a great note, a failed diet. We've had probably more of these than we can count on one hand, right? I know. I've had plenty failed diets, and I think that they all have some things in common, okay? I'm gonna get into that, but first I'm gonna start with my progress. I know that's a little backwards because I usually save the progress for the end, but today I'm starting with my progress. There's a reason for that, so hold on. Let's see. So I'm just referring to my note. Last time I was down to 244.4, and now I am 246.6. That is a total of 2.2 pounds gained. So, of course, I'm not happy about that. I mean, no one is happy about gaining weight on a diet if their plan is to lose weight, right? And that makes me kind of sad and frustrated, but I'm going to work through those emotions. And that's also partially the reason why I made the topic with the video about diets, failing diets, because, like a lot of times we really try our hardest and our best to lose weight or get healthy, or reach our fitness goals, and we don't. And it could be for a number of reasons. It could be you, of course, or it could be the actual thing that you're trying to do. It could be an awful diet. So we're gonna kind of talk about those things. And also I started with my progress because I wanted you guys to know up front that, once again, I said in my last video, weight loss is not linear. You're gonna have ups and downs. You are going to stay the same. Like, it's going to happen, but you have to be in this thing for the long haul. You have to make sure that you're on the correct path to success. You have to make sure that you have those tools to succeed. So it's a lot that goes into this thing. It's not going to happen overnight. You didn't gain the weight overnight. It's just an entire work in progress. Think about all the goals that you've set for yourself. Think about the goals that you've accomplished. Most of them took time, even if it was a week or 2 weeks or maybe even a month. It still took time, right? Think about, like, for instance, graduating college. Like, it took at least 4 years to get a bachelor's degree, or maybe less, depending on how many courses you took or the type of model of school you went to. It took over a year, okay? It took over 2 years to reach that goal. Or think about the career that you have. Some people, of course, just fell into their careers or whatever. But for the most of us, it took years, many years, for us to get to the level of accomplishment that we have in our careers. It's not just something that happened overnight, or it might if you're one of the lucky ones. But let's talk about this, though. So we are talking about why your diet is failing. So point number 1, going too hard too fast. Okay. So this isn't a weight loss competition. Like, this isn't like The Biggest Loser, okay?
This is what The Biggest Loser is all about. It's about caring about these contestants, and I really, really care about these contestants. I really do.
You're not locked away in some isolated place with no access to treats. You have a life, right? You have a life, you have duties, you have responsibilities, you have temptations, you have triggers. And you probably don't have 24-hour or, unlimited access to nutritionists and trainers and things of that nature. A lot of you are relying on what you Google, or you're relying on what worked for someone else, or you're relying on, the dude at the gym for advice. I don't know. But it may not be very effective advice that you're relying on. So once again, this is not a competition. You are not trying to get results as fast as you can. Well, you might be, I don't know. But we already talked about healthy, sustainable weight loss is a pound or two a week. Some weeks you won't even see anything. Some weeks you'll get a weight gain. But look, slow down, okay? If you have not exercised in years, you do not want to try to hit the gym and try to go do a session of HIIT cardio. You just don't want to do it. It's just not smart. You want to make sure that you're going at a slow, steady pace. If you want to do HIIT and you haven't exercised in years, I would not suggest it. I would highly advise against doing that. If you have suffered previous injuries, you want to take it slow. If you have not yet been cleared by your doctor to do anything, and you know that you have health problems or you have had previous injuries or issues, you probably don't want to do that. You probably want to start with a leisurely stroll around the block or a nice little walk in Walmart like we talked about. So don't try to go too hard too fast. And that leads me into my second point, which is your diet is too restrictive and or unsustainable. So while we have the greatest intentions in mind of clearing out our cabinets of all the junk food, of, saying that we aren't going to drink any more caffeine, no sodas, or, we're going to go on this fruit smoothie, juice cleanse, detox diet. I don't know.
Are you tired, overweight, lack energy? Do you wish you could look and feel years younger? Unlock the power of juicing with Jack LaLanne's Power Juicer. This amazing commercial quality power juicer lets you make the fastest, healthiest fresh squeezed juice in seconds.
Chill out, okay? Chill out, because you're being counterproductive doing that stuff. Like I said, we live in a real world. We don't live in a bubble. There are sometimes you can't avoid things, right? Like if you work probably like in a corporate environment and things like that, you may have to take clients out on lunches, okay? If you work in a school, you may be reduced to eating from a cafeteria or something every day. If you have, I don't know, you're a stay-at-home parent and you're raising a little toddler, and you have to fix their food or whatever, there may become points and times where, you're nibbling on their little snacks, or they didn't eat something, and you have this mindset where you don't waste food. So now you feel like you're obligated to eat whatever your child didn't eat. So you're going to have these things that pop up, and you don't want your diet to be too restrictive to the point where you give up because you can't take it anymore. You can't take the hunger anymore, or you can't take the pressures from outside influences, and you just give in and just start stuffing your face, or shoot, that was too difficult for me to kick sodas overnight because now I have this excruciating headache and I can't recover because I don't feel good, right? Or, you decide that you want to go keto, which works for a lot of people. And some people even find that sustainable. But using your fuel source of fats, where usually we use it from a combination of proteins and carbohydrates, is something totally different, especially if you're eliminating pretty much all refined sugar from your diet. It's going to be difficult. You're going to feel like crap. Your body is not used to eating that way. So it's very restrictive. Is it sustainable? That's debatable. I guess it just depends on how much planning you do, how much money you have, how much access you have to those types of foods and things like that. So you have to be thinking about, is this diet realistic? Am I being too restrictive in my calorie count, in the types of foods that I eat, etc., etc.? Can I realistically do this thing for the rest of my life? I don't know. Sometimes us just dieting and making general better decisions is probably a better idea than us going for that green juice detox smoothie blends cleanse. Okay, so just watch out with your diet and make sure that it's something that can be sustained. Now, as an aside to that, I understand that some of us have triggers. I understand that some of us have addictions, right? So some of us are addicted to certain types of foods, or we may be addicted to food in general. So there are things that we may have to strictly cut out of our diet and maybe reintroduce slowly over time. I get that. That's perfectly fine. If that's something that you've discussed with your dietitian, your nutritionist, your therapist, people that specialized in disordered eating or binge eating or things like that, and that's what you need to do, please don't listen to me. Do what your healthcare professionals and your team has discussed with you to do to get your eating under control, okay? So just make sure that you're listening to those professionals and not random people on the internet, including me, okay? Also, ooh, this is a good one. So this takes me back to what I talked about in the beginning when I talked about my weight on the scale, relying too much on the scale. Okay, so that's like the number one marker to show that if your diet is going well or not, if you're losing weight. I weigh myself once a week. Officially, I weigh myself officially once a week. Some people choose only to weigh themselves once a month or weigh themselves every other week. Or some people don't even weigh themselves. They go by their measurements, or they have a body fat measure thing. So that's what they go by, measuring their body fat. So whatever works for you, do that. If you do want to see the number on the scale, you want to utilize other markers to measure your success, because sometimes weight just is not enough, because some weeks your weight will go up, some weeks your weight will stay the same. You do not want to get caught up in the mindset that this isn't working, this isn't making a difference, I might as well just eat whatever I want, I'm never going to lose weight, I'm never going to get healthy, like, you know, I can't kick my addictions. Like, you do not want to get into that mindset and destroy whatever progress you've made thus far. I don't care if it's 5 pounds, I don't care if it's 10 pounds, and you know, you have 100 pounds to lose. It does not matter. Progress is progress. So take what you have and use that to fuel you forward, to send you forward. And I know it's a lot easier said than done in this. I know it is, but try to look at other things, okay? So are there things that you can do now that you weren't able to do before? So like, are you getting in shape? Are you getting healthier? Because really, these are the most important things and not a number on the scale. You know, are you feeling more comfortable now? Are you sleeping better? Has your dosage of medications changed? Like, can you now like keep up with your kids as they run around the house? Like, are you breathing as heavy now? Like, even the way that your clothes fit, like, it's something that I can initially sense, or I can initially feel how like now my pants are like loose in the waist, or they are kind of slightly falling off of me. I can remember when I lost enormous amounts of weight. It was horrible. Like, my clothes were like so big and so baggy, and I did not want to buy new ones because it was just so awkward going through clothes. I mean, that's a great thing. That's a great problem to have. So there are many other things that show success besides a number on the scale. And like I said, I know it's easier said and discussed. So do other things. Take your clothing sizes. See what your clothing sizes are. See if your clothing sizes are changing. Take your measurements. See if your measurements are changing. Make sure you take before photos so you can look at your body and you can see, like, oh, I'm trimming down on my arms. My stomach looks slimmer. Like, you know, oh, okay, I kind of see the muscles coming in. Like, look at that stuff, you know? Like, don't just rely on that number on the scale, you know, because you're going to get defeated. Start feeling defeated if it's not going down fast enough, or if it goes up 1 week or something like that. Okay, so just rely more than the number on the scale. Okay, and fourth point I want to talk about is prioritizing exercise over eating habits. Okay, this is a big one. So some people really like exercise. Some people don't have a problem going to the gym. This is definitely something that I did last year when I made the commitment that I wanted to try to lose weight, in which I did lose weight. I lost a good, what was it? About like 25 pounds. It was over a long period of time because I prioritized exercise over my eating habits. I had no problems going to the gym 3, 4, 5 days a week. It was just, I got into the routine. I got into the habit. You know, I like the feeling that it gave me, more energy and things like that. It was great. And it's great to prioritize exercising because a lot of people don't. A lot of people hate exercising, or they don't want to go to the gym, or they're just like, yeah, it's not my thing. That's a great habit to have. But have you ever heard of like the saying like, abs are made in the kitchen, or I don't know, whatever sayings that they have? Basically, it means that you have to take into account your eating habits. You cannot, that's the other saying, out-train a bad diet. And I believe there was a awesome video I saw about that on YouTube. And I think the guy ate like 10,000 calories or something crazy in a day. And he was basically trying to exercise to like burn it all off. And I think the most he got to was maybe like 7,000 calories or something. Anyways, that's crazy, but it just showed you that like it's really easy to eat those calories, but it's a little bit more difficult to actually burn them. And don't listen to your Fitbit or your Apple Watch or the little number thing that's on the machine you're using, because most of those are just estimates and they're off. They're off. It's just an estimate. It's just something to think about, like, okay, I'm burning this much, or I'm doing this extra thing or whatever. And don't eat your calories back. Don't do that. So some people will say, hey, I burned an extra 1,000 calories today by exercising, which I don't know if they really did that, but now they feel as though they can have 1,000 calorie treat. Don't do that. Please don't do that, because you probably didn't burn 1,000 calories. And the treat you're eating is probably over 1,000 calories. So that's just something to think about. You cannot out-train a bad diet. So prioritize your diet first, what you're eating first, your eating habits first, and then think about going really, really, really super hard in the gym, because that diet is what's most important. That diet is the easiest thing for us to tweak. Now, I'm not saying don't go hard in the gym. I'm not saying don't exercise. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. Please do that. That's great. And that's great if that's what you want to do. And if it takes you a little bit more time to refine your diet, like it did me, it took almost a year, then that's fine too. You know, slow and steady wins the race, okay? And this leads me to my last point, you guys, and that is not recovering from a binge. Okay, so when I talk about binge, I'm talking about eating a large quantity of food in a very short amount of time. I'm not referring to someone with binge eating disorder, okay? So if you have been diagnosed with binge eating disorder, this is not for you. You should be working with a mental health professional, also medical professionals, to work with your diagnosis and a treatment plan to treat that. Okay, so now that I have the disclaimer out of the way, not recovering from a binge. Okay, so I understand there will be times where we get triggered. We have been doing great on our diet. Things have been going along. You know, you've been filling up on your vegetables and your food throughout the day. You've been eating your healthier snacks. You've been a rock star. But one day, you come into work and there is a surprise birthday party for someone in another department. And you're going to say happy birthday because you're a nice person. You signed the card. You gave your $5 donation or whatever. So you're going to pop in and, you know, speak to the other people in the department because you often, you know, email them for things and they email you. And then you smell it. Cake. And you see it. Ooh, it's that ice cream. And it's something that you absolutely love. And you get a piece. And it's really good. You get a little ice cream and you're like, oh, I need to stop. But you haven't had cake in months. And you get another piece. And then before you know it, you've had 3 pieces of cake and 2 bowls of ice cream. And you are in your corner office and you are about to cry because you've binged. Look, everyone from time to time slips up. Remember, I had an entire segment of a video talking about the fact that we're not perfect. If you expect to go through a diet never eating anything off plan or never eating anything in high calories or never eating anything full of carbs and refined sugars and fats, your expectations are way too high. But it is what we do after that binge. That is how we are going to measure our success. And one thing that I don't like the idea of is this cheat day thing. Like, oh, it just sounds like a setup. Just going an entire day of eating whatever it is that you feel like you need. Oh, I don't know. Maybe a quote unquote cheat meal, maybe. I don't know. But like I said, some people don't do well with that at all. I'm one of those people. So I try to eliminate that stuff as much as possible. Like, I try my hardest not to give in to that stuff, because I know once I give in, I am like a pig in the pig pen. Like, I am in wallowing and it's a hot mess. So what are you gonna do after you have that binge? Are you gonna wallow in misery, or are you just gonna get up and dust yourself off and keep on moving? And you need to do the latter, because you're going to be in this for the long haul. There are going to be times where you aren't as successful as you want to be. Weight loss is not linear. There are going to be ups and downs in this thing. So the most important part is the way that you recover if you do have a binge, or you do overeat, or you eat something high in sugar or high in calories or high in fat, or whatever the case may be, something that's off your plan, okay? You have to recover. You know, you can't beat yourself up about it. What's done is done, okay? So just move on. It happens. Like, wake up the next morning, drink your water, start your day off right, get in some exercise. Like, it just happened. It is what it is. Okay. So that wraps up why your diet may suck. So you have to put it into your mind that you are going to keep on keeping on, okay? Don't be so quick to give up. And if you need to, adjust your diet, because your diet may not be working, okay? And of course, this leads us into our positive word. This is from Albert Einstein. Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. I love this. Learn from yesterday. So this kind of is like our binges, or eating off plan, or maybe eating something that we deem as not being healthy for us. We want to learn. our mistakes. What happened? Did we get triggered? Did we emotionally eat? Okay? We want to learn. We want to learn. We want to live for today. So today is a new day. You don't have to do what you did yesterday. You don't have to do what you did last week. You don't have to do what you did last month. Every day is a new day for us to make a change, for us to do something different, for us to succeed in our goals, including weight loss. And hope for tomorrow. So we're gonna hope, if we had a great day today, we're gonna hope tomorrow is going to be a great day like today. If we had a bad day, we are gonna hope tomorrow is not like today. And we are going to try our hardest to make tomorrow our best day. So if you like my word, if you like what I'm talking about, subscribe to my channel. I need those subscribers. Like this video, go look at my other videos, like those too. If you want to talk about your diet, you want to talk about your failures, you want to talk about your success, comment in the comment box. Comment, I'll comment back. Also, there's my contact information. If you ever need to reach me or ask me a question or just want to talk, I'm probably available. So send me a message, all right? So this has been great, you guys. I appreciate the views. I appreciate the support. I hope that I am spreading kindness, positivity, love, light, and also sharing my journey with you. So I'll see you next time.